very early. What is up, guys? It's Mason, and we are continuing our coverage of the finals of the Ghana National Chess Championships. This is phase 2, and phase 1 was very interesting. We had some very nice upsets. Maxwell plays against Clinton, and he plays the English. Now, Clinton is also a an English expert. So playing English against him is ballsy, right? Using your opponent's weapon against him. I mean, Bobby Fischer did that and it worked, so maybe it worked for Clinton. Okay. Give me a second. A second, where is this? Give me a second. Yes. Just want to make sure that the my mic is not freaking out like last time. Nah, this. Okay. Nice. So let's look at this game slowly. C4, C6, G3, knight F6, knight F3. Oh, it's my PC doing this again. Okay. He's not going this whole d4 route. He's going for this exchange, then later on he gets this. Okay. He's playing quite passively. For white, I mean Maxwell. I mean, it's all good. Okay. So what's the long plan here? Is he planning on going this way? Like e4, e5 at some point? I mean, e4, e5 doesn't look like it's the right idea. e4, if your opponent pushes. Takes. I don't know. Maybe it's a consideration, but I rarely ever see this move being played. Sorry. Yeah. So now we have rook ac1. Normally, like if the king was not castled, you have these ideas of like knight to b5, which is fine. But here's the ideas are not so much clear on my my opening knowledge. It's black's turn to move. As black, what would I do here? Rook d8. Rook d8, I don't know. Do we have any OTB tournaments scheduled as it stands now? The calendar is not yet out, so I can't tell. But there are some OTB tournaments around. Yeah. I think the BC will be having a tournament. I've forgotten when. I don't even over the board, but yeah, the calendar is not yet out, so I can't really see. I'll just be speculating at that point. But the early chess does have monthly tournaments. So there's this early chess rapid. It's played every beginning of the month. Of course, it's not being played this month because of the nationals. But every beginning of the month, then early chess plays a tournament, a rapid tournament. So you can just follow their Twitter, and yeah. I guess that's maybe the reason why he didn't play this. Because like if he played d4, I think you can always plant your knight here, and I think that's what he was trying to avoid. Because I'm trying to consider lines here for black. You also can play pawn push at this moment. And plus you also prevent the usual idea of your opponent coming into e4 here. So are we just going to go h4, h5, h4 and try and I don't know. Like this position is looking very boring to me. I can't tell if anything exciting is going to happen here. Maybe you have to deal with it. I don't know. What about like e4 now? Again, the knight coming here is not a very like good prospect. So I don't know. d4. Wait, I think, is there any plot with this? Nah, it doesn't work. Nah, it doesn't work. Sorry. It just doesn't work. Wow, we have Kennedy Onopite watching. A very strong Nigerian chess player. I was hoping I would get him to coach me at some point, but sucks. Let's move to another game. Wow, this game has gone just 6 moves. e4, c5. We have a Sicilian. Knight c3, d6. d4 takes, queen takes. Knight c6. So this is not the knight of is this time? I don't remember the names of the Sicilian. They are too much. Knight f6, b3. Okay, there are many ways you can go about this. I mean, since the bishop is coming into this square, you can always play d5. d5 does leave this e5 square for the knight to sit on, but normally you do allow that, so it's completely fine. So like, let's say if this is to happen, I don't know, it's completely fine. If you do so, please. But this might be just bad for black, I think. So maybe not in this way. Yeah, so g6 now makes perfect sense. It's like a dragon. A lot of times it's like just a preference of what you want to do or whatever style you want to play. Okay. A very funny thing would be to castle queen side here, but obviously I don't think that's what it's going to do. But we're going to say like bishop. Wow. Okay, so we're expecting a very a very active game today. Now, I mean, when you castle on opposite sides of the board, there's always a chance for opposite side castling for pawn storms. So you have to be very careful about that. I've made mistakes with this before, but I don't think he's going to. So personally, like, I would have held off and done this, which is not a good move because your opponent obviously would see what's going on. But if they don't see what's going on, then this is just a quick win. Obviously, that's not what's going to happen. Personally, I would like go f4. f3 can also go to g4, h4. So, I mean, there are still aggressive ideas here. And white also has h5, h4. maybe rook g8, g5. No, g5 still doesn't work. The bishop is still disturbing it. So maybe h6, a6, b5, b4. I don't really like it, but that's fine. You could also play that. Maybe you can even slot the bishop here, because the idea I keep pointing out is trying to weaken out this side, and then you can attack from there. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to go on here. So it seems that's the plan he's going for. There are times where like sacrificing this pawn, like to open up the side is good, but here, because of this kind of pawn structure, it's not the kind of plan you want to go for. I also do know that there are ideas where you would want to like sacrifice the pawn here, the rook here, but I don't think it works in this specific position. Yeah, so like I said, that's the idea. I think it's my first time seeing Maxwell play aggressive chess. I know him to be very like laid back. Nah, I don't think like this move I think would just hurt white more than it would help. Okay, would it? Like knight takes, bishop takes. I don't know. I don't think it helps him. Anyways, it seems like the first person to gain contact is going to be black. Of course, white can gain contact immediately with this, but I don't think it helps. So I think the first person to gain contact is going to be black. For example, like if you do get pawn push and the knight hops in here, there's ideas of this, right? There's also, you could also just come in here as well. Sorry. Hey, hello Prince, how you doing? Good to see you. I've been on this game for a bit. Let's check from Pons Match versus Aquanda. We have another Sicilian Grand Prix attack, right? F5 is F4 is the Grand Prix. Okay, I don't know this line. Okay, I'm not familiar with this specific variation. But they are still like they've been here for a while. This is still move 6 and we have no development here. All I'm thinking about is that knight here is probably preventing this guy from coming in, but there's always this idea. Maybe at some point g3, bishop to g2. You could castle kingside, but kingside doesn't look very safe, especially after like e6 with ideas to the bishop coming in here. Doesn't look safe. But you could go for it. I believe it's more likely that white may castle queenside, but then again, it's going to be very easy to launch something. But that's the whole thing about this specific variation. It's very aggressive. Like people are very combative today as compared to, okay, yesterday there was a little bit of combat, but today it seems like people are really going for the throat. Okay, this is an unexpected win for Prince Akpa, but let's see how it goes. D4, knight f6, c4. Okay. So like a Grunfeld, I guess. We're going to get an IQP. Okay. Did he really want this? I mean, it does create a solid center with these 2 points, and it fixes the whole IQP. But now you're left with 3-pawn islands, which in the end game could be problematic. But let's see how he deals with it. Okay. I think a very quick idea here is e5. But e5 will be met to e5, right? And e5 will be met to d5. Wait. If we go here, rook a to c1 is going to be the move. I mean, he could also attempt this, but I don't think that is like okay. But you don't get anything from that. Ideally, like if it was an isolated queen pawn, this move would make sense, because after queen takes, knight takes, you can actually play this move, right? That's like if these pawns weren't connected, putting the knight here is a very nice idea. But not so much here. So the most likely option is this. But when you're on the board, it's not like you're just thinking about this. You're thinking about the repercussions of this, right? So queen c7, rook c1. Now we can't actually go e5. Then maybe like e6. No, e6 will be too weakening. Bishop, then e6. Okay, so we are looking at this. Okay, David, please don't draw this game as well. Whoa, Zalikem is going for the jugular. E4, C5, another Sicilian. Oh, what's this line? Oh, this is an old line. I can't remember the name. Oh, I can't remember the name. Like when I started chess, this line was I know this. Is it the Maran? Is it Maran? Oh, I can't remember the name. I think Bob Fischer was noted for this at some point in his career. Damn, today like there's craziness all over the board, right? There's craziness all over the board. This looks like the game I played last year. Though I castled queenside, it looks like the game I played last year. My opponent never initiated his attack on the queenside and I won. My game against it's my round 4 game. I don't remember his name. I mean, you could always take this risky routes, but you're going to get this eventually. But that's too many moves, right? 1, 2, 3, sorry, 4 moves, right? I don't know. This just looks like you're trapping yourself. Yes, you can't play b3 and hold the knight there, but it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. I don't know, I'm wondering between these two. If f5 first is better. Okay, so yeah, that's the only option. But he may like try and read like position this way. But of course, something has to be resolved on this side of the board. But I think these guys are going to go balls deep, right? They are really going to go deep into the position. Okay, now this pawn push doesn't come with a tempo. Is he aiming for, like, what would he be aiming for with this move? G5 F6. G5 F6, knight F2. I don't think you want to take, but if takes, I don't know what you're going to do there, because now this knight is coming in and there's so much problems here. He could also be trying to repurpose his knight, but again, would he be fast enough? Could also be this move, but if you were to play here, this, you just allow f5, and that makes the position even worse for you. So okay. Again, one of the reasons for this, I think, is here. I don't think he's going to push these pawns for now. I think he's going to go h5, h4, h5 in this position. But I don't know, like, again, it looks like you just want to push, but it just doesn't work. You need a lot of, like, support. And I think he's going to have to work on getting this here first. Again, any pawn push is welcome because it weakens the position. But to get this attack started out, I don't think it's going to happen as quick as we think. Now let's look at the game with the engine. Engine recommending d5 here. Breaking open the center, that's also fine. Anytime like your opponent is attacking on like one side of the board, I realize that breaking the center has a way of like messing the whole idea up. Right? But when they lock the position, the attack is very easy. When they break open the center, the attack very, very rarely works, right? The reason being you are compromising the safety of your king, right? You have to sacrifice a lot of king safety to go for these like all-out attacks. And once the center is open, you get these bishops coming in, rooks coming in, and those can compromise the safety of your king. So it's a very nice idea. d5 makes very good sense here. Question is, will David Nameku see it? Because most of us are likely to play something like a5, a4. So you can't really tell. He does go e4. Yeah, I mentioned e4. So after the rook came in, the queen shifted away from that position, and then we have e4. I don't know if it would be too slow to play this move first. Maybe because you want to avoid d5. So maybe, yeah, you have to play it now. Doesn't stop d5. But maybe, I think takes, right? Bishop back. You might not want to take, right? Okay, so let's see, maybe this. Yeah. So bishop back, we go like e5. If you are willing to play this, why not? But I don't think it's good for white. If the music is distracting, let me know. I just played it so that it would fill the empty air, right? There are times where it's like I have nothing to say. Oh wait, Bernard is playing against Jeshron. And Jeshron is white. So far nobody has made contact, right? So this is where we left the game. B5. So we had knight G to E2, bishop to B7, knight to G3, knight to E5, oh, I think he's worried about losing this guy. I was thinking about if you want to sacrifice this pawn and allow your opponent to enter the position and then go this way, but it seems I think that's what he's worried about as well. Okay, so this is where we are. Again, I still think, okay, actually white is going to make contact very soon. Because as black, what you're aiming for now is to go A5, A4. I mean A5. A5, you could play this. Pawn push takes. Actually, no, that's just very bad. Dicey. No, it's Edupoku, but Edupoku is not in the country at the moment, so he sent a message saying he won't be able to participate in this year's nationals. So no matter what, at the end we are going to have a new champion. Yeah. But Edupoku, sorry, Bernard, I think Bernard Akwanda, Sarkodie, and Clinton. That's a lot of names because it's very difficult for me to guess. Have a very good chance of winning this year. Again, I'm giving Selikem because I don't really know Selikem that well, but he's really been pulling his weight like since I've been hearing about him. Yeah. But Hugh, welcome back. We're going to see some enterprising chess, as Edupoku put it. If we are lucky, the current before until this tournament is over, if we are lucky, the current national champion will join the stream. I've been in talks with him. I really want him to join me to co-stream this tournament. So just keep your fingers crossed. He might just pop in and join the stream. So just stick around for that. No, Bernard has never been champion. But he's very likely this time around. Again, I don't know about Akwanda. I've not really observed his play. I know I watched him do the Olympiad, but I don't know. I think that's the only time he has ever played, just in the Olympiad. So he may not be on form. Again, over the board chess is quite different from online. So even though he does play online, over the board is different. Plus, I rarely ever see him online. I saw him online recently, like December. Was it November, December? That's when I saw him online. So even though he has like very good chances of being national champion, I don't see it happening that much. Now H5. This doesn't work, right? You can't deny it this time because this is gonna mess you up. Anyways, welcome to the stream. This is PM Chess. We are looking at the Ghana National Chess Championship. This is the final stage. Like I said, we have 2 phases. Phase 1 selects 5 people to face the top 5 in phase 2. I played in phase 1. I didn't do so well, but the videos are on the YouTube channel. That's if you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, you can also go to the YouTube channel. It's PM Chess, and you see my games. I actually dropped round 3 to round 6 today, round 4 to round 6 today. You can also check that out. This rook is always going to be a pain in the neck at some point. Like, where would this knight even go? That's my question. I don't think this is a good square at all. Like, if we get this, I wonder. I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know what will happen in this position. I think he should. I don't know if he should be afraid. Actually, wait. What does he have? Like, let's say we grant him this and then we play this. He doesn't have anything. Like, if he wants to attempt having something, he might have to move the bishop and bring the queen. But then all the squares he needs are covered. So, what? Are we going to go? This could help him, because now your other rook can join the attack here, right? Yeah, h5 is necessary. h6 may just be very bad here. Have we looked at Maxwell's game? Yeah, we did look at his game. So let's keep scrolling on the other games. We want to look at as many games as possible. Though I'm more or less rooting for Maxwell. Sorry, Maxwell is another person I'm rooting for. The main person I'm actually rooting for is Bernard, but I'm also rooting for Maxwell, right? This game hasn't done much, right? Okay, so from knight we got the pin. We got bishop to e2, e6, bishop to e3, bishop to e7. Knight jumps in attacking the queen. Queen goes in this way. This kind of prevents you from castling queenside, right? I mean, now castling kingside seems safe, so you could go for it. With h3 now, I don't know if you really want to castle queenside, kingside. Taking, I think, helps white. But this game is really taking its time. Wait, I actually saw a very funny move. My PC is doing this nonsense again. Sorry. I saw a very funny. I don't think it works, but this. Right, that's the idea. The idea is to bring this guy here and then do that. But it doesn't work because if you do play this and your opponent takes. So yeah, if you see all those stuff happening, it's my PC being annoying. That at the very worst times. Let's go Prince Akbar's game. Okay, so we had this. Okay, we saw all this. Wait, he didn't go to see. Okay, so he went for this line that we talked about. I was mentioning how that if it was an isolated queen's pawn, this is good. But then I don't see like the purpose of this knight here. It looks misplaced. Maybe that serves a purpose, but it looks misplaced. Okay, maybe fine. Maybe it makes it difficult for this rook to develop, and that's what he's fighting against right now. So here, jumps back, and then you can get your rook in. That's actually interesting. This is cutting it too close. This is cutting it too close. This is just cutting it too close. Hey, what's up? Iles. Welcome. You could play this because pawn push doesn't exist, and now you have a target here. But okay, let's see here. Then you can just plop your bishop here. And this is too slow, but idea like this. Yeah, 90 plus 30. Darshan Ray, how you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. How you doing? It's 90 plus 30 time control. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's what he's looking at. I think there's here, and there's here. It depends on what kind of player you are. Because I'm quite passive, I might go here. But seeing how that these pawns can't really advance, I might be thinking about this. Right? And the king being here creates ideas of this, you know? But I think if like anything at all, it's gonna be in sort of like this form. What if the knight comes back? Do we just go this way and try and lock this guy up? It's not good, but like you keep this pawn bad. I mean, speculation. It's all up for speculation. All up for speculation. If I know Prince Akpa, he's aggressive, so he's more likely going to play like knight to d5 or knight to even d3, but knight to d5 is more likely from him. I don't expect him to play something other than that, right? Let's go to David. I'm actually interested in the aggressive games, the games where there are like there's attacks. Wow, I mentioned how that like pushing pawns in front of your king is going to be very good for your opponent, and that's what happens just here. Just what just happens here. Maybe black would play knight d3 check, and if white takes, then black has the bishop pair. Let me see. Knight d3 check. So that, okay, I mean, yeah, that makes sense as well. That makes sense as well. So he's playing bishops versus knights, and this is normally considered good for the player with the bishop pair because it's an open board, right? It's not a closed game, it's an open game. So it makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. But as for the knight staying on d3, I don't know how good of a move that is. I don't know, because it's not being held by a pawn, it's being held by a bishop, right? And that's like freaky. Like, I don't know what you're going to play here. Let's assume this. Like, ideas of like h3. Okay, but the king is looking weak. The king is looking weak if you do go for this type of line. So, okay. But I don't know about this knight being here. I'm not like so much confident with this knight being here. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Jaron. Yeah. I mean, but we have different we have like different styles of players, right? We have like different styles of players, and some are willing to play that kind of a risk. I'm not, right? I like to have like a simple, understandable position without too much craziness on the board. I prefer that kind of thing. So I like to say I'm a positional player. But Akpa is actually very tactical, so he is more likely to make them. He's very aggressive, tactical. That's why I'm saying that he's likely going to play the d3, knight d3 or the knight d5 move. This is another crazy game that's going on here. Oh really? I had no idea. I mean, I don't know. You meet all sorts of people online, you know. I mean, it's cool. You know, taking here may not be the best idea. I'm actually streaming both on Twitch and YouTube at the exact same time. I'm streaming on two channels at the same time. There are people who like Twitch and people who like YouTube, but majority of my audience is because like I mostly do African content. Most of them are like YouTube. So I used to primarily stream on Twitch, but then I realized that a lot of people within Africa like to use YouTube. So I've been streaming to two channels. And at least thank God Twitch agreed to that. You know, at first Twitch was like, you have to stream only with us, you can't dual stream, but then they changed their rules on that. But yeah, I'm seeing that this is going to be problematic if it does happen. So I now understand why he plays f5, right? And any way you look at it, like pushing is bad, ignoring it is the best, but eventually the position is still going to open up, right? So it's like, what poison do you want? So do you ignore, like, do you still try and play this kind of aggressive chess? Because that's going to be like crazy. You see, the annoying thing is this. The annoying thing for black is this. White is the only one attacking. And as such, I think white also thought that black might go and castle queenside. I think black thought that as well, so he was preparing for this, but then now all his efforts were wasted because the opponent just went kingside, you know. But it is still dicey. Black has chances of like turning this on its head, you know. I think black should just take. I think black should go f takes e5. Indeed. And I think it all depends on this specific position. Like, what does black decide to do here? At first I underestimated f6, f5, but now I see that it has a very good purpose. So if white wants to sort of keep the position closed, he doesn't have to take. But the moment he takes, it's going to be a very annoying position. Because now you have moves like e5, e5, e4, right? Attacking this and all those type of things. I think black is going to take. I'm sorry, I just started thinking about vacation. You know, like when you're a kid and then kid closes. Like you wake up knowing that you have nothing to do with your life. And those are fun times. I remember the last time I took a vacation. Anyways, I don't know why that just suddenly popped in my head. I think it's because my nephew and my niece are over, that's why. It just popped into my head for some strange reason. Wait, I think... Nah, I do get... Nah, it doesn't work. So I don't know why he would want... I don't think that's what his plan is. I don't think that's what his plan is. Let's go back. Okay, so we got the e5. Bishop attacks the knight. Pawn takes, pawn takes. Yeah, this is why kind of like I was recommending bishop back. But I think maybe what I didn't talk about was this. And that's what he didn't like. So it's possible that's it. So he played bishop here and takes 6. The reason why I wanted to keep the bishop here is that it keeps this guy under check. Knight, bishop. Now you have a very nice d5, d4 move here. Black shouldn't take the pawn. Really? Why do you think so? We can go back and check that game, but why do you think black shouldn't take the pawn? Yeah, I think we're going to see this move. I think we're going to see this move. The only repercussion I see for taking is because like you weaken your king side. But other than that, I think that taking opens up that bishop line and counter-attack opportunities are possible. That's what I think. Because your opponent is not going to take. I think so. So like, why do you think so? I mean, it's good to have these discussions. Maybe you wouldn't want to. You can take it, but taking it just puts you in a problem, so. There will be a 3 against 2. Like 3 against 2. Yeah, and that's the point we are yeah, you're correct in that sense that yes, there'll be more pawns versus, but that really comes into play in the end game. If you look at it in this way, let's say like takes, you have like ways to open up the position. Your knight jumps in, right? I don't know how best I can, because I can't explain all of like his moves, but let's say d takes. We have here, if you want to play this move, it does weaken. Wait, no. The move here, I don't know exactly how I'll play it. I don't know if it's this way. Or have I missed something? Okay, yeah, you can start with this. This creates a threat here. Even if your opponent tries to stop that. I hate it when it does that. I really do hate it when it does that. Yeah, so I'm looking at, for example, not this. Boy. So let's say we take and our opponent takes back. There's this move. Threatening to come in here. Again, I don't think our opponent should do this, but let's say he does this. Now we have like ideas of pushing forward. And you can see that now the bishop is coming alive. and you can use this far side to kind of like attack. That's my point. For you, playing f takes e4 opens up your rook, so I find it good. Yeah, this rook is opened up. That's another thing I'm looking at. So these things is what I'm looking at, right? If the position is kept closed, if the position is kept closed, this attack is very strong. But if you break open the center, this king becomes vulnerable. That's the main issue. But you're also right in that regard that black's pieces are misplaced on the queen side. So yeah. In Selikin's game, the black's dark squared bishop should have been on the a1 ha diagonal. Okay, it looks so open, like where it is. He can always like reroute it. This is a very bad bishop as it stands now. It's a very bad bishop. If he can get this moving, he can always like try and open it. But trying to open this, oh, what's all this? Trying to what am I trying to say? Trying to make this bishop active now is going to be a waste of time. So we did get a trade. Yeah, he does take. That's not to say it's the best move. We can try and check this out. What's the best move? Oh boy. My keyboard has this issue that it just presses some buttons on its own. So give me a second. It looks at a5 and then f takes, wait. Okay, still thinking. Knight b6, rook a e8. Oh no, it's not the right position. Yeah, sorry. Let me just keep my finger on this. So it looks at rook a d8, rook a d8. Okay, no, now it's thinking now. It says either d5 or f takes e4. So d5 or f takes e4. d5, I think, point being you want to unstable the structure and then develop the bishop. The reason I'm not so much keen on this is because of this, right? The bishop is, but it actually likes this. Really? How is this good for black? That's like crazy. Oh, this is the way he chooses to go about it. I think knight here would have been a nicer way to go about it. Because the knight also here allows you to go like this, sort of. I mean, so many interesting things are happening. I'm enjoying the suggestions. But the engine likes white. Let me turn off the engine. We are using our brains. It seems everybody's interested in the Steadicam game. So should we stay on the Steadicam game? There are a lot of like active games going on as well. I think this one is also one. No, this not. There's a, I think it's Jeshron's game, right? This is also another like opposite side castling situation. We left this game around here. Yeah. So he plays h5 and he went a4 like I said. Now h4 and he jumps back. Yeah. You can take this pawn, but that just opens up the position. So you don't want to do this. And you could also play a6, but a6 is not really like, it's not often a good move. Why? Because sometimes it's good to have the pawn tension rather than locking the position up, because once you lock the position up, it's going to be very difficult to attack this king. So I'm either expecting takes or this position is just going to be held for a while. f4, knight jumps in, fork here, and then rook h4. That's what he wants here. I was going to say that this was going to happen. This is what we call enterprising chess, as in the words of Edupoku. Anytime I stream with Edupoku, he talks about enterprising chess. Now, the ideas of this. This is crazy. But in my opinion, in my opinion, black's attack looks scary. Black attack looks very scary as compared to white. Like, a lot of what white can do is already stopped. Like, what more can white do? But black is really coming up with ideas. He could even at some point even attempt a sacrifice, right? That's how good black's position is. And let me tell you the engine for the engine to disagree with me. Engine disagrees with me 100%. It says white is +1. Oh no, plus 0.4. So it's still an even position. Don't just hate it when the engine disagrees with you. Personally, I would pick black. The motif that white is using to attack is a motif I use a lot. So I kind of have a feel for how it's going to go. In close Sicilian positions, white has activity on the king side. Whilst black has it on the queen side. So the pawn movement on the queen side isn't terrible as long as the dark square bishop is active. I can see that you are very well versed in the Sicilian. I'm not so well versed in the Sicilian, but the way I see it is this: it is 100% correct, and is this is the kind of difference that's happening here. When we have opposite side castlings, there are two ways you can attack: pawn storm or with pieces, right? Sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Okay, so here we can see a certain dynamic. White is attacking black with pawns. Black is attacking